Welcome to Newsmax TV, Grover Norquist, President of Americans for Tax Reform.
Good to be with you.
The last time we spoke to you, Obama had finally gotten into the budget debate. He gave a speech, a campaign-style speech yesterday. Did we learn anything new?
Well, what we learned is that the president's afraid of the Ryan approach. Paul Ryan has put forward a bill that reduces $6 trillion of Obama's overspending during the next 10 years. The Paul Ryan legislation takes government spending, federal spending, from 25% of the economy down to 20%, where it was before Obama started to do his damage to the American economy. If President Obama believed that Paul Ryan's budget was a political loser, he'd stand to the side and let it sink. Instead, he rushed out to pretend to have something similar, and yet we haven't actually seen something in writing yet from Obama.
The House passed the Ryan budget.
Yeah.
What did the vote count among Republicans tell you? Every
single Republican except 4 members of Congress, Republican members of Congress, voted for the Paul Ryan budget. That's a huge show of solidarity within Republicans. It means that the Republican Party, as a party, has staked out a dramatic reduction in government spending as their priority, a refusal to raise taxes. It eliminates the $1.5 trillion of tax increases that Obama wants in the next 10 years. So the Republican Party's on record: dramatic spending reduction, dramatic federalization, moving spending to the state level and control the state level from Washington, D.C., doing for Medicaid and food stamps what the federal government has already done for welfare, send it out to the states and block grant it. What's very interesting, and of the 4 who voted no, 2 of them were actually voting against the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, not against the budget per se, and the other 2 guys had somewhat confused arguments. But to only lose, in effect, 2 of all the Republicans in the House is very impressive.
How concerned are you about the S&P coming out and making a warning about the debt, and what kind of pressure do you think that puts on both Republicans and the president to figure this thing out?
Well, it's President Obama and the Democrats overspending. The $800 billion they wasted on the stimulus, the $350 billion they wasted on the second TARP bailout, the $1 trillion that they added to the budget over the last couple of sessions. That's what's pushed us to where we need to raise the debt ceiling. So Obama has done a lot of damage to the economy, and we now, quote unquote, have to raise the debt ceiling. Republicans are insisting that if we're going to raise the debt ceiling to cover for Obama's overspending, there's going to have to be some dramatic reforms in government spending.
Final question, not about the budget, but about the presidential race. What do you make of Donald Trump's surge in his likely candidacy for the GOP presidential nomination in 2012?
I understand Donald Trump will be signing the no tax increase pledge, which is the sign of a serious candidate and somebody who wants to run as a Reagan conservative Republican. And he's certainly got a lot of attention as a business person, saying he's going to fix Washington. So he will make the primary race more interesting.
Thank you, Grover Norquist, Americans for Tax Reform.
Thank you.